What's up, Internet? Coach Danny here, eating some watermelon. I'm feeling the best I've ever felt in my life, specifically about training. I've cracked the code. I figured it out. Hear me out. Everything in the fitness industry, it's all about shortcuts. Everything. If we can get away from shortcuts, you can have the life that you want. You can have the body that you want. You can have the happiness that you want. So many topics I want to cover today. Sugar diet, GLP1s, gear, testosterone, TRT, all that stuff. And training style, the training style that you're meant to do. We're going to talk about it, and I'm going to do some floor press. So let's get after it. Set one. I just got back this morning. I did 24-mile bike and a 500-meter cool down swim in the pool. Nice and easy. So easy. It was just about enjoying the day, enjoying the weather, and doing something that I can repeat, show up, do again tomorrow. We are building volume. We're living the life we want to live, and we're going to get ready for Sprint World Championships this October in Wollongong, Australia, and we're going to crush it. 100% we are going to crush it. All right, so hear me out. Everything in fitness is a shortcut. Everything I teach my clients, I teach nutrition plans, diet plans, and exercise. And I give them the best I can. I'm not trying to make shortcuts. In order to lose fat, most people need to get into a calorie deficit. And I think periodic calorie deficits, especially if you're obese, are very important. Helps get the hormones, insulin, helps everything level out. But as you know, calorie deficit is just energy balance. And what's really the core of the issue? Is the core of the issue that these folks are moving a lot and eating too much, or is it that they're not moving enough? Answer is they're not moving enough. 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10. And the easiest approach is to set a reasonable calorie target, a calorie deficit. Most people cannot move more, quote, because of time. This is the thing I'm getting at, time. This is why everything in fitness is a shortcut. This is why CrossFit is 10 to 40 minute high intensity workouts packed into a 1 hour session so that you can get a good warm up, supposedly. Cool down, maybe stretch. I've seen that. I don't always see that. Bodybuilding. Everybody wants to know how to get the most out of the least. High intensity bodybuilding training where go to failure and you only got to do it twice a week. I get it. It's cool. And it's cool that this information is out there, and it's cool that there's avenues to get a potent dose. I'm not saying these things aren't potent. I'm just saying they're shortcuts to the fact that we're not living this active lifestyle. And if you really want to fix your life, you got to make time. You got to find the time, create the time. it's a cultural issue. 100% it's a cultural issue. We live psychotic lives where the moment we wake up, we're taking care of the kids, we're rushing out the door, and we're burning the candle at both ends. We simply can't find the time, but it's up to you. You make an impact on the culture, start the change with you. Find the time. I'm finding the time. I'm making the time. Now, I have the advantage of a flexible schedule. And I'm finding that I can backload a lot of my work. I can work when it's dark. I can work 7 to 10, 11 p.m., get all my admin work done. Then I've only got to do some calls and some messaging throughout the day. That opens up my whole day for a ton of time. And I'm finally feeling human again, okay? I'm talking about 2.5 to 3 hours of movement every day. It's been only a few weeks I'm doing this, but I felt like, and part of it's like coming out of winter into the spring, but like I feel alive again, okay? And when you train like this and you don't need shortcuts, it's actually easier. Yeah, it's more time, but like everything you do is low intensity. It's a low sense of urgency. Train like you have the rest of your life, like it's an actual lifestyle. We talk about lifestyle, but then we give people these psychotic workouts that we're trying to get results out of 20 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour that biologically, ancestrally, all that good stuff, how we evolved, is trying to replicate hours of movement. We moved a lot. And I don't know where my limit is. I'm gonna find it. So right now, all I'm trying to do is establish a repeatable habit and build a ton of volume, all at a low intensity aerobic pace, and just build that aerobic base. So right now that's looking like, yesterday I did 26 miles on the bike, an 8-mile walk/jog, probably about 50-50. And that was it. And all that combined is probably about 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2.5 hours. Today I did 24-mile bike. Took about 90 minutes. I really took my time, popped the chain at one point, whatever. Took some breaks. 10 minutes in the pool, 500 meters, nothing. It's just a cool down. Now I took a shower, and now I'm gonna hit a quick 20, 30 minute lifting workout. We're only talking 2 hours, but it feels like my body's remembering how to wake up. When I was just doing these hard, even just in the gym for an hour, I would come home. It's such a shock to the adrenals. I would come home and feel more tired rather than more energized. And so it creates time, because when I do those high intensity exercises, I got to go to bed earlier, but now I have more energy. It's easier to stay up and easier to do the work that I need to do. I really think volume is king. So I listened to a podcast with Mike Israetel on Mind Pump the other day, and he's basically saying that drugs are going to just replace everything. Fitness in a bottle. GLP1s are going to have us eating less. TRT, growth hormone, all these new, basically performance-enhancing drugs are going to give us the muscularity we want, the mitochondrial benefits we want. And it's just fitness in a bottle. And he said, then we can make more time for things that are important, like helping starving children and, you know, charity work, which is cool. Okay, great. But what are you gonna do with those kids? I mean, feed them, and then play. And so all I'm asking you to do is embrace fitness as play. Because when it's low stakes, it's low intensity, high volume, aerobic, fun, it's play. You play, bring the needy to play with you, take care of them. There's time for both. Fitness in a bottle, what I'm getting at, is never gonna replicate what's truly missing. And it's that active, fun lifestyle. You're gonna find the time if you look for the time. There's time to do work. There's time to play with your kids. There's time for family. There's time to do chores. It's there. There's a lot of hours in the day. Even though it sounds like, oh, 2 to 3 hours of exercise, you're gonna need more sleep. I'm telling you, when the intensity is lower, I'm finding I don't. I'm finding I can feel good on 7 hours, but when I do high intensity, again, sometimes this is a super hard 20-minute workout, I need more sleep to recover from that. I'm losing time. Even though it's a shortcut, it's not. It's really not. And that's why it becomes unsustainable, and that's why people fall off the wagon. If anybody could live the last 2 weeks the way I have, getting out, by the way, sunshine. You're never gonna get sunshine in a bottle. I don't care. Maybe like on a neurochemical level, it will seem to replicate it, but it's not the same as the experience. It's not. Watching videos of the Grand Canyon is not the same as going to the Grand Canyon. Seeing Everest on TV is not the same as being on Everest. Taking some pill that gives you sunshine in a bottle is not the same as being out on your bike, enjoying the weather, enjoying the sun, feeling the breeze, feeling your body move through space. You cannot replicate that. And that's where we need to move as a culture. We just keep moving more and more towards shortcuts. But what we should be doing is repairing our lifestyle. And I mean, it's the biggest obstacle I run into. People can't make the time. People can't implement a diet because they can't figure out the time to cook. People can't implement a gym routine because they can't figure out the time to make it to the gym. It doesn't matter if I give them the best, damn, most scientifically robust, productive plan there is. If they don't do it, if they can't fix the time issue in their life, it doesn't matter. Well, I can give you a shitty program, but if you make the time and you put in intense work, you get good results. Again, that's still intense. Like, what if you have more time and you could just enjoy every second of it? What if you can create more time? I think you can. I think you can create energy. I think you can create time. And that's by spending more time doing low intensity aerobic work. And start with walking. I think everybody should get a bike. They have to write an ebook or whatever. Get a bike, start biking and walking. Take 30 minutes out of your day to lift some weights. People will push back and say, well, I did Ironman training and I didn't get the body I want. Probably because you trained super intense. You probably didn't do the true aerobic base building you were supposed to. And you probably didn't incorporate some resistance training to offset the muscle wasting. It's not that hard to offset the muscle wasting. Sugar diet, we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna add some weight for this next step. Sugar diet, I've been seeing a lot on this, and I want to talk about it because I didn't even really know what it was. Never heard of it until Mark Bell started talking about it. And now, kind of the way he's describing it, It's basically just like fruitarian as a modified fast. So it's kind of like people who do fasting and only eat dinner, but instead of fasting, you fuel off of fruits. I guess you could do veggies. Veggies doesn't make a lot of sense though. So it's like a fruitarian modified fast for the early part of the day. And then you have to get some protein in the evening. And honestly, I don't think that that's that bad. Now, let me tell you, I did fruitarian way back in the day before I got a master's degree in nutrition, knew anything about nutrition. I didn't know my ass from my elbow. I just saw a video of an endurance guy. I've come full circle. I'm back to endurance. Back when I was in the Air Force, into endurance, saw this group of fruitarians who were looking really lean and saying they were fueling only on fruit. So I thought I'd give it a try. And I did it, I think, for a month. My wife will say I did it for like 6 months. It's not true. I barely made it 3 weeks. But since I wouldn't eat anything she was cooking, it felt like an eternity for her. And I'll tell you what happened with that fruitarian diet. Give me 1 second. That felt good. I lost weight. I did. I lost a lot of weight. I got really skinny on the fruitarian diet, and I had a lot of energy. So I understand where these sugar diet people are coming from, because the brain does fuel off of glucose, and if you give it constant glucose, you will have energy. Fruit's really easy to digest, so it's not a lot of stress on the digestive system. You feel lighter. I really did. I felt literally, I lost weight. I felt lighter, and like mentally, everything. I felt like very airy. Is the only way to describe it. I felt a lot lighter. But pairing that with marathon training, I developed I just woke up one day and I had just like this ring of swelling around the ankle. Because guess what? I wasn't getting any protein. I was breaking down my tissues with no repair. So maybe this version of the fruitarian diet where people are actually eating protein in the evening, maybe it could work. Now I teach carb cycling. It's partially the company I work for. And I was a little hesitant about it, but that's our kind of default strategy that we teach. And when I started seeing people getting really good results with it, I embraced it and continue to coach on that, unless somebody asks for something else. If they want to do keto, I'll coach them through keto. If they want to do balance, if they want to do vegan, whatever, I'll coach them through that. But if they're just like, hey, give me a plan, company I work for, we just default carb cycling. And I think there's a lot of good learning lessons in there, but I could see this sugar modified fasting, or this fasting modified with sugar, fitting in on a high carb day. So basically we're doing very high carb, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, and then lean meat dinner, so very low fat. And I think that could work. Maybe try it 2 times a week. I don't know that you would do it every day. And ultimately what I teach is you got to understand what the different macronutrients do to you. What are the signs if you're lacking in a macronutrient, and how to deal with that. I mean, really, I look at nutrition as just targeted nutrition. It's got to match your lifestyle, it's got to match your goals, and make sense. So I have been kind of messing with it because, again, I'm trying to do this like 2 to 3 hours of low intensity cardio. And that's a morning ritual. And it's been really easy to get out the door off of just a couple bagels and Gatorade, come home, eat some fruit, But I'm not really pushing myself to wait till dinner to eat protein. After this lifting session, I'll eat some protein, and I'll eat more protein again at dinner. And because I want to make sure I support my body and not have breakdown. But yeah, I think it could work. It's not as crazy as resorting to drugs, all these GLP1s, TRT, all this stuff. There's just so many people lying. They're just they're in the expert position, but they're using shortcuts. And ultimately, if you follow their logic long enough, even if what they're saying is like, well, I do this, but here's what you can do, ultimately you'll end up wanting to do the shortcuts they're doing. And I think it's important to find something that's not a shortcut, okay? Now, am I in peak shape yet? No. I mean, it's not bad, really. It's really not that bad. What you guys are used to seeing on the internet, well, let's try it. First of all, most people are enhanced. I'm not. A lot of them are younger than me. I'm 41. And a lot of them don't have the family and all that. And I do have all those things. And all I'm saying is, first of all, the transformation is coming. If I keep up this lifestyle that I've instilled in the last month, and I should have known better. Why am I going to do this all along? Because even as a fitness professional, I fall into the same traps as everybody else, same mental traps. But as long as I can sustain this, I will. And I think we're in for a really incredible physical transformation. And I think I'm going to make you guys proud of my performance at Worlds this year. So I'm going to finish up. I'm going to hit one more set of bench. We're going to hit some curls. And probably that'll be it today. And we'll do a little bit more lifting tomorrow. All right, y'all. Peace.